everyone, Amba here. So today I wanted to talk about something that's been on my mind since my children are starting to get older. And let me back up and say that we moved to a new town almost 3 years ago, and it's a great place. We love it here. It's where my husband grew up actually. And I it was really serendipitous that there was a temple, a mandir, in this area. I had no idea when we chose the house, which was based on where my husband had a new job. And I went looking and saw that there was indeed a Hindu mandir nearby. So that was like, wow, so lucky. And speaking of children, a little interruption there. So I really wanted to make it a new habit to go to the temple regularly once we moved here, because I had been not very regular at our old place. I was starting to get more regular when we had to move. I was going with my friend Anu to the Washington Kali temple, and it was really nice. It was a nice kind of ritual to do. So once we moved up here, I was going in the mornings because I was a stay-at-home mom and nobody else would be there. It would just be me and the priest, and so we would sit in the hall and watch him do his thing. And he was very, very friendly. He was so welcoming, so nice. But I never got to really feel part of the community. And then, of course, COVID happened, and we have not been to the temple in more than a year. And of course I'm very cautious about going out, especially in light of how badly COVID is hitting India right now. It's heartbreaking and terrifying. We had a good family friend who lost someone close to him, and it just feels like none of this should have happened. I don't know, but that's not what this video is about. So I would like to, now that we're vaccinated, start slowly going back out, to regular services. And I looked at the calendar, and I think there's some evening things that we can do so that hopefully we can meet some more of the local people. But something that struck me is something that I've talked about before with my own childhood, and I think that this is a common trap that parents fall into, where you kind of forget, even though it's obvious, you kind of forget that your children don't have the same background that you have. They don't have the same baseline, the same foundation that you have. So I remember many years ago when I first went to a Hindu temple, and it was very scary because I didn't know the rituals. I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing. I felt like really self-conscious, like everybody can tell I don't know what I'm doing and everyone's looking at me, and this was pretty much all in my head, but it's an overwhelming experience. And I have to give Christianity a point here, because they make it real easy to get started with their kind of services. You walk in the door and they hand you a program that says this is exactly what's going to happen, where you should be at each time, right? So even though I went with a friend, it was still like I had that all or nothing thinking of like, oh, I'm never gonna get used to this. It feels so foreign and I don't know what I'm doing. And I expressed that to my parents, who said, well, maybe you should go to a Catholic church. And it was such a strange moment because I wasn't raised Catholic. My mother was. So she had that baseline to fall back on. Like, okay, if you're uncomfortable at the Hindu temple, just go to one from your own background, right? Go to a Catholic church. I was like, I'm going to be just as overwhelmed and confused by the rituals in a Catholic church. I'm sure you probably know there's a lot of standing up and sitting down and knowing when to do that and stuff. I tried once and I definitely still stuck out like a sore thumb there. So it was like this moment of clarity that it was difficult for her to really fully comprehend that I did not have the same basis that she did in religion because she hadn't given it to me. She had given me something else. She had given me a Hindu background, albeit without the temple, without the rituals, and I have lots more videos about that experience. But a similar thing has started happening with my own children. They are now 5 and 3, and I do find myself kind of almost subconsciously, and it's coming into my conscious awareness, but almost subconsciously thinking that they have the same ideas I do about morals or discipline or, being a good person. But they don't, because I haven't given it to them. I have not really imparted any of that kind of stuff to them. And, I tell them that we're Hindu, but they don't see that a lot in everyday life, especially since we haven't been going to Mandir. And obviously I do have my altar here, but I haven't been good about really showing them what that means. So so the point is that we have decided to enroll them in the Bala Vihar classes, which is like Hindu Sunday school. And luckily the local mandir does offer them. So we're going to sign up now, and then it's going to start in September. And yeah, I'm really curious to see what it's like and how my kids like it, and hopefully that will also help us to kind of integrate into the local community better. And I'm looking forward to them having some spiritual wisdom imparted by someone other than me and my husband. I think it's important for them. I'm a big believer in people choosing their own path when they are older, but giving children a basis to understand spirituality is something that's important to me. So even if they choose not to be Hindu in the future, I want them to understand what it is and make an informed decision on that.